The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's one news outlet where our story is told. Delaware Live. Locally owned community-based news. Free to every reader, because Delaware's future belongs to all of us. Quality journalism we can trust to help us take on the day. Delaware Live. Our state, our news, our home. The things that matter most happen right in our own backyard. Our neighbors, our schools, the places we go, and the people we know. And now there's
Hospitality, founded in 2004 when three guys teamed up to introduce the Buffalo Wild Wings franchise to Delaware. To date, they operate 8 Buffalo Wild Wings in Delaware and Maryland. Also the Stone Balloon and Limestone Barbecue. And let's not forget Expectation. And 5 Jersey Mikes throughout Delaware. High Five Hospitality's mission is to operate 5 brands that serve high-quality products with exceptional hospitality. High Five Hospitality.
I always passed by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew that they existed. We stopped in the showroom. We just clicked, like from day one. They did a total kitchen renovation for us. Ferris was so organized. They were on top of everything from day one. Always here when they said they would be, always on time, kept to the schedule. The level of comfort speaking to everyone that works at Ferris, they were just super friendly, easy to talk to. It was like they were friends, not, people coming to work on our kitchen. The room is totally transformed from what it used to look like. To have all this seating now and the big table, the bench seats, it's great. I love coming home and just walking through the laundry room into the kitchen every day. It was just a great experience. We love Ferris. I would always pass by Ferris on Kirkwood Highway, so I knew.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier? Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier? Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy,
but have you tried Premier?
And we'll now pause for the national anthem. And we are moments away from tip-off here at Caravel Academy. Again, good evening, everyone. Nick Alessandrini alongside the coach, Bill Harmon. A top 5 matchup. Mike Lang producing to our left. Craig Laskowski up in the stands. Number 5, Caravel, and number 1, Tower Hill. Both teams 5-2 coming into this contest, as Coach alluded to earlier in the broadcast. A loss for Tower Hill to Sanford last week. Caravel's losses coming to out-of-state teams, both Archbishop Carroll's, but different programs for the Caravel Buccaneers. Coach, before the break, we went over the keys to the game for Tower Hill. Now, how about number 5 ranked Caravel here at home? What do they need to do to get a win over the state champs?
They want to find any way they can to get some easy baskets against this Tower Hill set defense. They will push the ball in transition. They'll try to turn them over and get some offense out of their defense. And then they've got to have a solution for both Shepherds, who play similarly but also have some nuances differently to their game. And we'll see some great three-point shooting, and we'll also see a lot of drives. Both of the young men are excellent free throw shooters, and I think they do a really nice job of incorporating their teammates into their team.
Well, here we go, and we are off and running at Caravel Academy, a matchup of 2 top 5 teams here in the state of Delaware on this Thursday night. And Coach, no football here on a Thursday night. Why not get some good basketball action in?
Absolutely, Nick. Really happy to be here with you and the group, and also doing such a really good game early on in the season.
Caravel going to get it started here, work it around. That was Makai Carmen, number 4. You remember him from the football field. Here's a drive on the baseline. Shot wouldn't go for Dominique Wyatt. Out of play, though, and last touch by the Hillers, so we'll stay down this end.
Wyatt is a terrific penetrator. He is a very quick and explosive, excellent in the open court, loves to drive it and get to the free throw line if people will foul him around the basket.
Here he is, top of the key, 30 seconds into the first. As now it's Miles White, and again, it feels like a lot of these Buccaneers have been on this varsity team for a while now, since they were young in their careers. Great passing there in the half court out of the Buccaneers, finished off by Zane Bond, the junior.
Caravel loves to post up Clemens, and down on the block, Tower Hill ran a double team from the weak side. An excellent pass out of the double team by Clemens.
And Clemens, one of the stars to watch here for Caravel, had a great start to his season. And of course, for the Hillers, going to be the Shepherds, as Coach alluded to earlier. What championship game performances they had last year in that game against Salesianum. Clemens got a hand into that passing lane, able to tip it, and now the Bucks get the steal.
Well, Caravel loves to push. They'll look for a trailer in this, and if they don't get it, the ball will be swung, and they love early threes.
On cue, Miles White knocks it down from the left wing, and a 5-0 run to start the game for the Bucks.
Miles White made some really tough shots against Archmere a week ago.
Shepard trying to quickly answer, top of the key, threes no good, and now the Bucks come out of the pile with 6:21 to go here, opening quarter. Wyatt going to get inside, too strong off the glass. Rebound hustled down by the Hillers. As we hit the 6-minute mark, still 5-0 in favor of the Bucks. Here's a trap in the corner, trying to get rid of it. As Somerville turns into a steal, now here comes Wyatt the other way. Doesn't have numbers, but takes an elbow, courtesy of Dean Shepard.
Caravel in their zone will trap the corner, whether it be put there from a pass adjacent or a skip, and they're really good at double teaming and then looking for steals. That ball was thrown directly to Wyatt, who then presses the advantage and draws the foul.
Wyatt getting better and better, as well as those other guys here at Caravel over the years. Here's Clemens on the baseline. Pump fake, able to get it right back. Couldn't finish on the block as the loose ball's hustled down by Wyatt, and now we create a second chance here for Caravel.
Caravel is really good attacking the offensive glass, so Tower Hill's got to be very physical in their man-to-man. They play behind the post. They've got to be able to get bodies on bodies.
Here's Clemens on Shepard. That's going to be a matchup to watch. White, a little head fake, and then a nice feed underneath. Couldn't be finished by Makai Carmen, but a great look.
Well, White is a terrific all-round player. Not only is he a fine shooter and makes some really tough shots, he's also a willing and able to execute passer.
Around the screen, try to feed it underneath to Dylan Shepard. Good active hands by the Bucks. We'll stay down here right in front of us underneath the basket.
Dylan Shepard is the trigger man underneath. This is a straight line. They'll probably just get the ball in and reverse it for a shot in the deep corner if possible.
They were looking for it, turns into a drive from Shepard, able to get it back somehow, maintains possession, and able to finish underneath. Dean Shepard with his first bucket of the evening.
Dean Shepard is extremely quick, especially from the top of the key. Can drive with either hand, and he can finish well with both. Very creative in and around the basket.
5-2 now, the first bucket of the night for Tower Hill. Clemens wants a three down the other end, wouldn't fall. Rebound hustled down by Marty Coyne, a valuable member of that championship team last year.
Yes, he is. He really understands his spot on the team and what he needs to do to make them good.
Corner three, no good. Shepard able to get his own rebound, tried to find Coyne top of the key. Wyatt picks it and goes the other way. Numbers for Caravel in transition. There's Wyatt.
That is Wyatt at his best. Makes the steal, attacks with the ball, and he's very good at finishing around the basket with either hand.
7-2, Caravel on top here early at home. Coyne, though, he'll line up a three. Too strong off the rim. Rebound to Shepard. He's going to go up, take some contact with the right hand. No good. Now we have a loose ball picked up by Zahn and the Bucks.
Caravel is very long and active around the basket defensively. You need to slow down and use shot fakes to be successful against them.
Spot up three that time for Miles White. Wouldn't fall.
White has the ultimate green light from Coach Tobin.
Another player with the ultimate green light right there. Dylan Shepard in the corner over top of Clemens. Took some contact on that triple.
Shepard is really good, and this is Dylan we're talking about. Elevating over players. He's got a great high arcing release, a wonderful shooter from range.
Trying to answer White, kicks it over to Bone. His three is long off the right side of the rim and out of play. So ball back to the Hillers, and Coach going over the different highlights of the 2022 year now that we're into 2023. And I was watching some of those championship highlights from the game we had last year, and Dylan and Dean Shepard were just lighting it up from the corners. That's kind of where they were hanging out, and they were either dribble penetrate from there and or just knock down some corner threes. So very effective all over the floor, but you'll see them in the corners too, for sure.
They were able to space the court against Salesianum extremely well. And let's not forget about Davis Bland, the senior that's graduated. Right. I think he hit 5 in the first half from more than NBA range.
That's right. What a performance. As the Hillers going to try to find something similar here this season. Contact underneath, no whistle. As Anthony Michelli was looking for it, but a second chance. Coyne going to go straight up, shot blocked. And how about a third time's a charm for Archmere? There's Michelli battling after the miss a few shots ago.
Well, Michelli did a terrific job of using a head fake the first time, didn't get rewarded, but didn't get frustrated, stayed with it, and then got the second offensive rebound and put it back. An excellent play, and they need that type of work around the basket.
Miles White shot for three, wouldn't go. Same spot he hit the other one a few possessions ago. It's going to lead now to a three in the corner for Clemens, and he buries it, his first bucket of the evening.
Clemens has a variety of ways to score. He can score in transition. He can score around the basket with a post-up game. He's also a very accurate long-range shooter.
Ryan Black going to check into the game for Caravel, the junior.
Black has been starting for most of the season. I believe this might be only the second game he hasn't started all year.
Coach Tobin may be seeing something he liked there in the starting lineup matchup-wise here against Tower Hill as we hit the 2-minute mark of quarter number one. A 5-0 run to open the game for Caravel, then a 7-2 run for Tower Hill since the three from Clemens. Shepard trying to hang, draw some contact, forces one up there, won't fall.
I think he was looking to get fouled there. Dean Shepard uses a shot fake to his advantage, tries to step under. No call given to him, but I liked his footwork on that move.
139 and ticking, 10-7 ball game here, quarter number one at Caravel Academy. in a matchup of top 5 programs here in Delaware. A little hesitation fake from Clemens, gets inside, the leaner won't go.
Try that floater, a very difficult shot unless you spend a lot of time practicing. It goes for about 15% in high school.
A little give and go action that time. Dean Shepard able to get it back and finish.
They've probably done a little bit of that in the playground or on a number of different basketball courts in the country. They really play extremely well together, but they also do a great job of getting their teammates involved.
Another baseline drive. This time it's Miles White able to finish on the reverse.
I really like White. I think he's added a lot to this Caravel team. He's very quick. He's good with the ball. Can shoot the 3, and he's an excellent long-arm defender.
Here's Kevin Coleman into the ball game for Tower Hill, the freshman, and he'll take some contact as he tried to elevate on the mid-range jumper. Now he'll head to the free throw line for maybe, I believe, our first free throws of the game.
Well, Coleman was very fortunate there. He was trying to get the shot off against Webster, the lefty, who comes in, usually the 6th man off the bench. Since Black didn't start tonight, he was first in, but I like Webster. He's long, he's active, can run the court, score around the basket, and is a really good defender. He just got caught there leaning in as Coleman went up for the shot.
Off the mark on the first one is Coleman. So another free throw on the way, and 1 of 2 from the line goes the freshman. Now we have a 12-10 ball game as we tick under 45 seconds to go here in the first.
I think it's really important early on, coming off that tough loss to Sanford, that Tower Hill just stays around and stays within contact. Because Caravel is a team, when they have the lead, play extremely loose and fluid and will continue to shoot the long-range threes. If they're not going in and Tower Hill rebounds the long one, they'll be able to stay in the ball game.
Corner 3 has some space to let it fly. Hung around the backboard there, but wouldn't fall for Ryan Black.
Big part of the Caravel game are split and kicks. So you've got to be able to control the drive. They're trying to draw the help, kick it to the corner. So you've either got to be able to rotate a different way and play no help off, or help and recover. That time Black wide open, just missed a shot that he normally makes.
Tower Hill patient here on offense, 7 seconds of ticking. It's going to be a quarter 3 for Dylan Shepard, and that's nothing but net in a big way to end quarter number 1 as Wyatt elevates. Shot just off the rim, a little Gordon Hayward Butler action there as we close out the first quarter, but the Dylan Shepard 3 gives Tower Hill their first lead of the evening, and they've got it 13-12 as we close out the first quarter. We're heading to the second here at Caravel Academy. We'll take a break. We'll be right back on Delaware Live Sports.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Blue Coast Seafood Grill and Raw Bar in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway, Blue Coast features indoor and outdoor dining and serves beautiful, simple food that highlights the flavors of Southern Delaware. With chef-inspired daily specials, an award-winning wine list, and an extensive list of craft cocktails and local beer, Blue Coast is the perfect spot for a night out. Blue Coast Seafood Grill in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round for lunch and dinner. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Blue Coast Seafood Grill and Raw Bar in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Come check us out. Located in the Rehoboth Gateway, Blue Coast features indoor and outdoor dining and serves beautiful, simple food that highlights the flavors of Southern Delaware. With chef-inspired daily specials, an award-winning wine list, and an extensive list of craft cocktails and local beer, Blue Coast is the perfect spot for a night out. Blue Coast Seafood Grill in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round for lunch and dinner. See you soon.
Moments away from getting quarter number 2 underway here at Caravel Academy. Nick Alessandrini alongside the coach Bill Harmon, Mike Lang to our left, Craig Laskowski up in the stands, bringing you all that beautiful picture that you're seeing on your screen. And Coach, we got a good one here as we head to the second. It was Caravel taking the lead throughout the first quarter. Then on the last shot of the quarter, Dylan Shepard hits a corner 3. That gives the Hillers a 1-point lead.
That was a breakdown defensively by Caravel to leave Shepard so wide open in the corner. Tower Hill now is going to run their stuff. They're very good at their execution, and they're not afraid to run 30, 40 seconds off the clock to get themselves a good shot.
Almost got a hand on that one, did Miles White. Tower Hill able to maintain possession as they work it around the perimeter. Vaselli going to kick it out. It's going to be a Shepard 3. Immediately recognized it was off. He's going to crash the boards, and it will stay here, and that is due to the effort that time by Dean Shepard. And Coach getting in on the action here right in front of us.
Wanted to check out and see if my hands were still there.
Oh, they're there. How do you like the new Wilson Evo basketballs?
I'm learning to get used to them. I like a basketball that has a little bit of grit on it.
Yep, I'm
Maybe
with
it's
you.
because I don't have great hands.
Well, that's doubtful. Here's a Coleman three. The freshman's shot off the mark into the hands of John Clemens. It'll be brought up now by the Bucks, trailing 13-12, but that one sails through the hands of Dominique Wyatt, and it'll be a turnover, Caravel.
Caravel a little sloppy after that really excellent start. They've let down some communications defensively. They haven't rebounded the ball as well as they have, so they've got to tighten up and get a little bit more engaged. Tower Hill's done a great job of battling back from that early deficit.
1 minute into the second here. It's Bone, Wyatt, Clemens, White, and Carmen for Caravel. Coleman, both of the Shepherds. Jackson Claw now into the game for Tower Hill. And it's going to be a Shepherd three, and he knocks down another one. This one courtesy of Dylan Shepherd, second triple of the half. And he's got it right in that same spot. He loves that corner three.
You can ill afford to leave either one of the Shepherds open. They have a very quick release. They're always shot ready when they catch the ball, and they are hunting out their three, especially against a defense that is not in touch with them.
And you got the Shepherds as well as Marty Coyne out there. They can all light it up from beyond the arc. Here's Zone on the baseline, able to get it to go off the glass. Tough move down there, able to finish.
He does a nice job. He complements these other Clemens and White, and he's done a nice job throughout the season of playing his role, and he can score inside, and he's also made some threes for them.
That one stolen by Miles White. Tried to spin around. Shepherd able to keep possession. Now he's going to take the freshman Coleman to the basket. Too strong, but does draw contact and the foul. Some fancy handle there from Miles White, able to get around the defender all the way inside, and now he'll head to the charity stripe for a pair.
That's Miles White understanding that he had a little bit of a lead against the freshman Coleman, who was not sitting down in a stance. He drives by, misses the layup. Claw comes across to try to get the block. Claw was only a freshman, 6'5",
Yeah.
big-bodied, a very fine athlete. He's a transfer from Friends School, as a matter of fact, to Tower Hill.
As the first free throw is up and in for Miles White. Caravel cutting the lead now to a point here, 16-15, and a chance to tie it up here.
Caravel is a high-volume free throw shooting team. They shoot at about 68% on the season, but they get to the foul line a lot because they're so aggressive driving the ball and on the offensive glass.
All tied up here in the second between Tower Hill and Caravel. A matchup of two top 5 teams here in Delaware. Coyne back to Shepherd here. As they work it back into the corner. Dean Shepherd lost maybe some room to operate there. Just going to elevate and throw it off the leg of a Buccaneer, and now they'll retain possession.
Shepherd got caught along the baseline using his dribble up. Got very fortunate there to bail himself out with the throw off the opponent.
Good positioning by Claw underneath. Couldn't finish, though, after the inbound pass from Shepherd.
Well, Claw's only a freshman. He's going to learn. That was one time where he probably should have settled the ball down. He just didn't get enough on it. But this is a big-bodied, fine athlete who's going to be an excellent player for Pat Kaiser.
Wyatt able to hang and finish. They'll count it. Count the bucket for Dominique Wyatt, +1. Now he'll have a chance at the old-fashioned three-point play for number 3.
Scouting Wyatt, I was really worried about his ability to find driving lanes. He's good with either hand. He likes the elbow. He likes the slot, and he can drive along the baseline. He's very clever, and he's strong and can take contact and finish through it.
Free throw up and good. Three-point play completed for Dominique Wyatt. He's got 5 tonight, and now a 3-point lead for Caravel here over Tower Hill, 19-16, as we tick under 5 to go in half number 1.
Caravel's now switched to their 2-3 matchup. It's really right now a 1-2-2 matchup because of the construction of Tower Hill, but they play this a lot as well as man and then full court pressure.
Working it around, trying to find an open shot, and it's going to be Shepherd. Had room to fire in the corner. That one just off the mark. But then we have a whistle and a foul. It's going to go against Makai Carmen, and that's going to bring three free throws, for Dean Shepherd as he walks to the line.
Carmen, the cardinal sin when you close out a shooter, you never want to run by him where you might tip his hand on the side. You get there, you go straight up, you contest the shot, and then you block out. The Shepherds are very clever at influencing how to get a foul drawn on them. And they're very smart players. They played a lot of basketball. They play the game the right way. But that was a really nice play by Shepherd to get that call for him.
Free throw is good. Knocked down the first 2.
What I like about both Shepherds is their pace of play. They're really under control. They know when to go and when not to. They can be quick, but they're never in a hurry.
4:30 and 1-point lead for Caravel. Good hands by Shepard to poke that pass away. And they'll inbound.
Tower Hill's very quick defensively. They can extend. They'll play some zone themselves. They play a lot of man-to-man. They don't press a lot because they typically don't have to. But I like it. They stay down in their stances. They do a good job. And they don't switch as much as some other teams are.
Wyatt, little crossover, elevates, couldn't knock down the mid-range jumper. Looked like a different number 3 on that one. The shot just wouldn't go. Now here comes Tower Hill. And the freshman just got caught up top of the perimeter. He'll get called for the travel.
Pretty impressive to have 2 freshmen playing at the same time. There's Tower Hill with Coleman and Claw. And Claw's going to come out, but Coach Geiser's going to bring those guys in and get them a feel in a big game like this. To be a freshman and playing at this level, kudos to Coach Geiser and his staff to get these young men ready to play.
So Caravel basketball now here as we hit the 4-minute mark of half number 1. We've had a good one all first half long. A 1-possession game pretty much throughout. Here's White, a little crossover himself. Will drive, hand off to Bone. Look like they tried to set up a shot in the corner.
A little too much dribbling right now by Caravel. They're really good when they move, split, and kick.
Miles White on the shot in the corner. Spot up 3 wouldn't go, but a second chance created by Bone. A little layoff here to Makai Carmen, and the big fellow finishes underneath.
Well, Bone did a great job of securing the offensive rebound, not panicking. Gets the ball to a teammate who then drives it along, and then Coleman able to finish.
Driving, shot wouldn't go. Offensive rebound to Somerville, and he'll try to put it back up himself. And he gets fouled, and now he'll head to the free throw line for a pair.
Daniel Somerville, a junior, 6'4". He's got a good body. He works well for positioning, a decent defender, but he's really good for Tower Hill. It gives him some size and some bulk inside to bang some of these bigger teams.
First shot is up and through for Somerville for his first points of the evening. Another one on the way. 21-19 here at Caravel Academy. Again, he said Tower Hill's got some size. Look up and down the roster a little bit. Somerville, 6'4", the junior, as he knocks down both free throws.
Well, they've got some excellent size, but what they really have is skill at the 2-guard position with Dean and Dylan Shepard, both 6'2", 6'3"-ish, quick, explosive, great body control.
Here's Wyatt, another crossover, another elevate mid-range jump shot. Just doesn't fall. Getting good looks, though, is Wyatt. Unable to knock him down off the dribble.
A lot of one-on-one action right now by Caravel. They need to settle down and share the ball a little bit more.
3 for Shepard, wouldn't go. Rebound battled for by Dylan Shepard, winds back up into the hands of Dean Shepard. Now they working around the perimeter, passing on the 3. That time was Somerville. And just a little bit too hectic there offensively in the half court as Tower Hill just couldn't get settled down.
Caravel is long and very quick, and when they extend, they can speed people up. You don't see Dean Shepard getting sped up very often. At that time he did, just an errant pass down on the baseline.
2.5 to go in the first half. They feed it down to White on the block. He'll kick it out. It's going to be a Wyatt open 3. Shots up, and he buries it. Dominique Wyatt showing the 3 fingers as he walks down the other side of the court.
Mark Tobin's got to be very happy about that. They reversed the ball, 4 players touched it, and finally a wide open shot by Wyatt on the left slot.
24-20, 2:13 and ticking here in the first half. Caravel and Tower Hill. Shepard gets to the block, took some contact, shot too strong off the glass. Here comes Caravel. Wyatt in transition. Shot wouldn't go, too strong, rolled off the rim.
Well, Lou did a great job of backtracking and getting just enough body on Wyatt to affect the shot.
And just as you put your head down, another 3 buried from Tower Hill. I believe that one was Dylan Shepard, number 3 of the first half from beyond the arc.
Shepard is really good in transition. He can drive it, but he can also spot up or take that rhythm 3 as he brings it down.
This time Wyatt will drive and kick. Here's White on the baseline. A whistle and last touched by Tower Hill. It's going to stay with the Buccaneers. Carmen will take a seat. In comes Ryan Black.
Caravel has as many out-of-bounds underplays offensively as any team I've seen. They've got 6 or 7. They execute them quite well. This is a straight line. They're going to look to see if they can't get Clemens the ball as he cuts to the corner.
Here he is now, one-on-one with Shepard. Lowers that shoulder, takes some contact, showing off the strength, but the layup underneath wouldn't fall.
Sometimes players are driving to get fouled. That was definitely what Clemens was trying to do there, but it was not rewarded.
Black able to get the steal as the ball was tipped. Now here come the Buccaneers with not as many numbers, but doesn't matter for Dominique Wyatt. A little Euro step inside and lays it in off the glass.
How about a big Euro step? Is why it went left to right across the lane. Great body control, finishing with the rim as a shot block protector.
Caravel been good, as you mentioned, when they've got out in transition a little bit. Somerville's three is way long off the glass. How about Shepard? The layup wouldn't go, contested by Wyatt underneath, and now here come the Bucks out and running. Black looking for somewhere to go with it, and they'll slow it down as they got it to Miles White. Well, back to Black in the corner. He'll pull it and knock it through. And Ryan Black passes up on the first one, ready for the second one, and he buries it from the corner.
Black's got a beautiful stroke, a very quick release. He's always shot ready, meaning he has his knees bent and he's ready to get the shot up as soon as it comes to him. He's got excellent rotation on his shot.
Caravel now leading by 6. The largest lead for the Buccaneers since early in the first quarter. No hesitation, catch and shoot three for Shepard in the other corner. It's short. And now here comes Caravel with numbers. Wyatt thought about it. Good way to pass up on it. Leaves it up for Miles White, but that shot is short. Maybe rush that one just a tad.
Caravel will do that. Now, of course, the clock was running down, but you want to take that shot just a little bit later on so you do not allow Tower Hill an opportunity to get a shot off at the other end.
What a first half here from Caravel Academy. The Ryan Black three in the corner gives the Buccaneers a 29-23 lead in a matchup of top 5 teams. Coach, what did you see in that first half? Caravel up 29-23.
Caravel got off to a great start, running and gunning, and then they made some turnovers, took some questionable shots. Tower Hill battled back. The Shepherds led their team back at all different levels. What I really like about the Shepherds, they play at a wonderful speed. They never look out of control. And if they miss, they don't let their lack of offense affect their defense. They play very hard at both ends. They battle back, and then Caravel had some late shots. I really like when Wyatt can get his team going in the open court. I think he's their catalyst, makes a lot of good plays. Yes, he's going to take a couple questionable shots, but I think his energy and his movement patterns, especially in the full court, really help his teammates and set them up.
We've got a good one again. Caravel and Tower Hill, defending state champs, taking on the 5th-ranked Caravel Buccaneers. Caravel leads by 6 at the half. When we come back, third quarter action live from Caravel Academy.
Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Come check us out. Matt's Fish Camp features seafood classics, coastal comfort food, and chef-driven specials that pair perfectly with our large selection of craft ales, curated wine list, and camp cocktails. Matt's offers indoor and outdoor dining and is the perfect place to have dinner with your family, happy hour with friends, or enjoy lunch at the Raw Bar. Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round. See you soon. Hi, I'm Scott Kammerer from Soto Concepts. Today we're at Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware. Come check us out. Matt's Fish Camp features seafood classics, coastal comfort food, and chef-driven specials that pair perfectly with our large selection of craft ales, curated wine list, and camp cocktails. Matt's offers indoor and outdoor dining and is the perfect place to have dinner with your family, happy hour with friends, or enjoy lunch at the Raw Bar. Matt's Fish Camp in Fenwick Island, Delaware, open 7 days a week year-round. See you soon.
Welcome back inside Delaware Live. Sports moments away from getting the second half going here at Caravel Academy in a battle of top 5 teams. Number 5 Caravel at 5-2, taking on the visiting defending state champs, also 5-2, the Tower Hill Hillers. Nick Alessandrini alongside the coach, Bill Harmon, Mike Lang to our left. Craig Laskowski up in the stands here at Caravel Academy, bringing you that picture up on the camera. Coach, let's quickly go over the first half. Caravel got out to an early lead. Tower Hill able to take a 1-point lead there for the moment at the end of the quarter, thanks to a Dylan Shepard 3, and then Caravel able to rally back in that second quarter, and now again tying their largest lead of the ball game. They lead 29-23 as we're set to begin the second half.
Dominique Wyatt has done a really nice job in the open court and even at the half court with his penetrating drives. He's usually driving to score, but he also made that big 3 on the ball reversal. He's a player that Tower Hill's got to be a little bit more attached to, though they did a good job on John Clemens, the big player inside who's been explosive throughout the year. He's had a little struggle inside against Tower Hill. Tower Hill's man is probably going to be ultimately the difference, and I see this game going down to the end with free throw shooting being the biggest factor.
I have to say I agree with you. This is going to be a good one here as we are underway in the third. A 29-23 lead for Caravel here at home. Clemens, though, pocket picked at the top of the key. Dean Shepard coast to coast for an easy 2, his easiest bucket of the day. He's now got 8, and great start for Tower Hill to begin the third.
Tower Hill does a lot of good things defensively. They stay down in their stances, they move their feet well. They're not a big help team, but I'll tell you what, they put great pressure on the ball, especially the 2 Shepards who played a lot and know how to find ways to create steals.
And Coach, something you said earlier, you know, Caravel, not at their best when there's a lot of dribbling, right? Like to move that ball around. That's what we're seeing here on this possession. Clemens, driving kick to White. Thought about it for a second. Now a reset up top to Wyatt.
Well, here's a good matchup to watch. You've got Dean Shepard against Clemens, and you've got Dylan Shepard against Wyatt.
Bone gonna knock down the corner triple. A nice dribble drive created by Wyatt, able to find him for the open 3 in the corner.
And that's what Wyatt's really good at. He can penetrate, and sometimes when he's penetrating horizontally, he's not trying to score, he's trying to draw and kick to a teammate, Bond that time the recipient.
Now a new largest lead for Caravel. It's 7, and now ball poked away. Off to the races is Clemens off the glass, and Shepard might have got a hand on it, but Dominique Wyatt able to put it back through.
Both Shepards hustle, but in this case, this was Dean Shepard sprinting back, bothering Clemens' shot, who did not go up as strong as he normally does.
9-point lead. Coyne has that one picked and stolen. Another easy 2 in transition, maybe a timeout. Not yet, doesn't seem that way, but Wyatt back-to-back buckets for him. And he has really cleaned it up. He's got 14 of the Caravel 36.
Defense really starting this second half aggressively for both teams, creating some turnovers and some easy baskets.
Kevin Coleman, the freshman down the other end, will get fouled on his way up. So that'll slow things down for a second. He'll have a chance to knock down some free throws for the Hillers.
And this is the type of tempo that Caravel wants to create. They want it to be a little messy. They want to get out and make some steals. They want to run. They want to pressure you to come down and take quick shots. What Tower Hill needs to do is continue to slow down and ultimately have the ball end up in either Dean or Dylan Shepard's hands and let them try to create.
First free throw off the mark for Kevin Coleman. He went 1 of 2 at the line his last trip in the first half. Trying to knock down the second free throw here. It's up and in, so 1 of 2 again for Coleman.
A player that did a really nice job last year in the championship game, Charles Hopgood, is replace Coyne for Tower Hill. He's a really good defender, knows exactly what Pat Kaiser wants.
And you do see him sitting in the paint there. Gonna play free safety maybe here for this defense. Wyatt, how about this floater up and in, elevates from the free throw line, got it up with the right hand, and that falls right through the net.
They run a ball screen, and Shepard gets pinned a little bit over the top, and that allowed Wyatt to get that half a step, and he creates that floater. He makes more than most players do, something he must work on a lot in practice.
So here's Coleman, Wyatt right on him. Inside out for Tower Hill. Shepard on the baseline, able to get right to the basket, and he gets 2 off the glass. Another
Shepard's
bucket.
really good, Nick, at getting his shoulders parallel to the backboard when he attacks the glass. Can use a fake. He can go to the weak side for the rim as a protector.
Open 3 for Miles White off the mark. Mekhi Carmen a little too aggressive in the backcourt, trying to go for the steal. He'll get whistled for the foul this time.
Outside of the steal, Clemens really has not touched the ball in areas that he likes to get it. So that's one thing with this lead that I think Caravel should be trying to exploit. Clemens has some height inside. They should be pounding the ball in, and then he can always kick it back out if they double him, which they did early in the game.
Dylan Shepard going to force up that 3. He has 4 already. That would have been the 5th, though. That one just off the mark. And a double-digit lead for Caravel. Double drive and kick. Same spot for Bone, and same result. Cans it from the corner, courtesy of Dominique Wyatt.
If you don't level Dominique Wyatt off, he's going to penetrate. If he sees straight line, he's going to take it to the basket. If he's confronted by the help from the man in the corner, he kicks it there as he did. Big-time three-point shot by Bond for the second one from down. That was really nice teamwork, but it's Wyatt that sets this up with his penetrations.
Wyatt now with 16 points, also a few more assists. I'm not sure the official tally on that, but he's been the locomotive or the engine that has Caravel running here tonight at home against Tower Hill. He's been spectacular. Shepard, Dylan, and Dean, 12 points for Dylan. We talked about it, 4 threes. Dean Shepard's added 4 here in the second half. He's got 10 points. Dylan has 12, so they've got 22 of the Tower Hill 28. What is Tower Hill going to have to do maybe outside of the Shepards, or even if you want to include them, Coach, on how they get back in this one?
Well, that's going to be Pat Kaiser and his staff's dilemma. How do I get other players involved? Because we can't expect Dean and Dylan to get 25 a game apiece. I mean, if they do, they're going to win a lot of games, because then their role players will probably get, say, 8 to 16, and they're going to have more than enough. In a game like this, where Caravel can score in bunches, as they did at the start of the second half, you've got to find that third, maybe even fourth score to give you somewhere 6 to 8 points, which then allows the Shepards each to get 20, and now you play that numbers game, and you get yourself into the 50s.
And we've seen guys like Marty Coyne be able to score in double digits, knock down some shots. We'll see if they can get it going here in the third and fourth quarters for the Hillers. 41-28 in favor of Caravel. Here's another blitz from the Bucks. Able to poke it away was Clemens. Up ahead to Wyatt. He keeps his composure underneath, and another easy layup for number 3 in White.
The defensive quickness with the hands is what's really changing the game here with Caravel.
That one, nice move inside by Dean Shepard, a little up and under, and he's able to finish his 3rd basket here in the 3rd.
Dean was able to get in way too deep. Caravel's got to confront him early and make him, if not pick up the dribble, at least slow his advance. When he gets inside 6-8 feet, he's very clever, has multiple footwork moves.
And now we have an error on the call. The official originally ruled an over the back on Bone. He just reversed it and meant to call it on Dylan Shepard. So a change of the call there as you saw both teams start to walk down the other direction. It's going to stay right here in possession for Caravel.
Tower Hill plays man-to-man under, and they put a man on the ball, so look for some screening action by Caravel.
Webster gets inside, and see if they saw an extra step. They did. So it will be a travel as Webster took some contact on his way to the cup.
The veteran official, Lane Drexel, gets that call right. Webster a little out of control. He thought that the bump created the walk. Drexel thought that the walk happened before the bump.
43-30, 13-point lead for Caravel, the largest of the evening. Dean Shepard, corner 3. That one rims out. Rebound battled for, pulled away underneath by Tower Hill. That was Anthony Michelli doing the dirty work and creating a basket for Tower Hill.
Michelli's really aggressive. I love his play. He just knows exactly what he has to do to help his team win. He was active on the offensive glass in the first half. There he creates a great play by being first to the floor and getting it to his teammate.
And that was a travel. against Caravel. So Tower Hill will get it back here down 11. Not sure who had the layup courtesy of Michele underneath, but a beautiful pass that led to a bucket, and now they've got the ball back here.
I believe it was Dylan Shepard.
And now underneath is Dylan Shepard, as that bucket was his first of the third, and that time Wyatt left his feet.
Tower Hill's playing a lot of 4-around-1 motion, and then the post vacates, and then somebody else cuts in. They get a lot of movement. They do some guard-to-guard exchanges, but what they ultimately want to do is find a way to get one of the Shepards the ball down on the baseline where they can attack with either hand.
They get it to Shepard, and he knocks down the mid-range jump shot over top of Bond.
Well, known as a three-point shooter, he is really good in the mid-range, as is his brother. So they know how to play at all three levels. That means the three, the mid-range, and then getting to the free throw line.
So now back into single digits, 9 points as Clemens drives. Good defense by the freshman Kevin Coleman, and he's going to cause White to step on that baseline.
So hard to believe, isn't it, when the basketball court doesn't move, that you could actually dribble out of bounds. If you've taken it there, you're probably in a bad spot. Too many people today try to drive baseline, throw one-handed passes. That time that got White in trouble and created the turnover.
Once again, Tower Hill just lost possession of it, able to somehow get it back. That jump shot was forced up there on the baseline. I believe that was Shepard who got it up and drew some contact. Or wait, excuse me, Tower Hill thought it was a shooting foul. Shepard's walking to the free throw line, but this one's going to go against the Hillers.
They got a foul away from the ball on the weak side.
So some confusion for everyone here in the gym on that one, but it's going to go ball back to Caravel with 2:29 and ticking here in the third, holding a 9-point lead. It's Black, Webster, Bone, Clemens, and Wyatt on the floor for Caravels. We have a foul against Shepard, and it's Coleman, both Shepards, Anthony, Michele, and Charles Hapgood for Tower Hill.
Occasionally, Tower Hill will extend their man-to-man defense to half court. They're trying to create some activity via their defense, either get a steal or speed the other team up and force them into a bad position.
Another drive by Wyatt, tried to get it in the corner, that time anticipated by Shepard. Now here come the Shepards in transition, rejected though by John Clemens, who was 1-on-2 defensively for Caravel and able to swat that shot away.
Shepard did not use a fake. He went up to challenge the bigger Clemens, and Clemens did a great job of holding his ground, waiting for the right moment to leave his feet and get the block.
Another uncharacteristic error on the inbound from Tower Hill, just right out of the hands of Dean Shepard and out of bounds. And once again, ball back to Caravel, a few turnovers consecutively for Tower Hill.
Remember, this is still basically the first third of the season. Teams aren't quite as sharp. They're looking for their combinations, and I think sometimes the activity level creates some of these turnovers, maybe playing a little too fast.
And that time, Coleman tried to sneak up behind Clemens and poke it away. They tried to double team him atop the perimeter, just a little too aggressive. He'll get whistled for the reach. Now they'll inbound.
Well, Coach Kaiser really has confidence in Kevin Coleman, the freshman. He looks like he's going to be a very fine player. He's been given big minutes in this game.
Now we have another whistle and another turnover, this one for the Buccaneers, but that foul number 3 on Dean Shepard. Just something to keep an eye on here.
Well, what Caravel should do is try to attack him in a one-on-one situation, but I have a feeling that Dean Shepard's pretty savvy, and it'll be very difficult to pick up that 4th or 5th foul on him.
1:50 remaining here in the third, and another almost turnover. Bone got a piece of it, or that would have been another errant pass for Tower Hill, and another turnover for the Hillers, but fortunate on that one.
As a player, when you are denied on the side, you never want to fake your going back door. You want to go back door, create space so the passer just doesn't throw it to where he thinks you're going to be.
Nothing easy on the inbound for Tower Hill. Bone steps up and knocks that one back out of play, as Dean Shepard will regather himself in inbound round 2 as he gets it over to Dylan.
Caravel out of their matchup zone. Right now they're playing man-to-man.
Around the screen goes Dylan Shepard, trying to feed it underneath. Ball, the bounce pass stolen by Bone.
Bone has really done a nice job. Offensive glass, 3-pointers from the corner, and some really solid defense.
Lead still at 9, under a minute and a half to go, quarter number 3. It's been all Bucks in the third quarter. Clemens able to split the defense up and through on the floater.
Well, that's Clemens at his best, to drive down the lane, a Euro +1 step, I think he might have gotten away with one there, but a really fine finish by Clemens.
Habgood, a big three in the corner off the front rim and over the backboard. That would have been a big shot, but no good that time. And now the lead's still at 11.
It was a nice close out there by Trevor Webster, running to challenge Habgood's shot, and that long arm of Webster's, I think, bothered Habgood, and that's what created the much higher arc in the ball to eventually bounce over the backboard.
Miles White back into the game alongside Makai Carmen as Dominique Wyatt and Bone will take a seat here as we approach under a minute to go in quarter number 3. Number 5, Caravel leading number 1, Tower Hill by 11. Clemens, deep three, rims out, rebound to Michele, and now Tower Hill looking to run. Dean Shepard out ahead of the pack, lays it up and through.
Well, many times people talk about turnovers, but a bad shot can be a turnover just as much as if you made a bad pass or a bad dribble. That long rebound, Tower Hill was able to get the ball up the court very quickly, and Dean Shepard's as good as anybody in the open court.
Lead back to 9 now, under 22 seconds to go. Caravel might hold for the final shot. Webster tries to get inside and draws the contact. He was tripped up inside the paint. I believe it might go against, Shepard.
That's a call that really is a tough one to make, especially if you're a defensive coach. The player is out of control driving. He's either going to walk, throw up a bad shot, or if you step in and draw a charge, but don't bail him out with a little bump. And I think that time Webster was very, very fortunate that he did not get called for the walk.
Miles White thought about that corner three a few times. He'll retreat now, top of the key with 10 seconds, and the Bucks going to try and get off the final shot of the third. One-on-one, White kicks to the corner. Webster a three, hung on the rim, no good. Second chance for Carmen. Can they get the shot off the buzzer? They can't, and that'll do it for quarter number 3. Caravel staying out in front. They lead 45-36 as we head to the fourth here on Delaware Live Sports, a matchup of 2 top 5 teams.
Your home, your community. It's not just where you live, it's where you belong. At Dover Federal Credit Union, we understand what it means to be local. We started here, and we're not going anywhere. We're as local as it gets, and we like it that way. We're not just a financial institution, we are the local credit union that you can trust. Local people, local decisions. Dover Federal Credit Union. Your home.
Welcome to Premier Physical Therapy and Sports Performance. We're a locally owned outpatient physical therapy practice with convenient locations in all 3 counties in Delaware. At Premier, we have experienced physical therapists with advanced credentials, but their hospitality, passion, and enthusiasm is what makes the difference for you. Find our convenient locations at premierptsp.com.
You may have tried physical therapy.
But have you tried Premier?
Back live here at Caravel Academy, the start of quarter number 4. Here between number 5 Caravel and number 1 Tower Hill. Nick Alessandrini alongside the coach Bill Harmon, Mike Lang, our producer, to the left, and Craig Laskowski on the camera up in the stands. Both teams coming into this one at 5-2. Caravel leading 45-36. They've led throughout the game. Back and forth we went in the first quarter. Tower Hill actually led after 1, and now Caravel maintaining this 9-point lead as we begin quarter number 4. But coach, it's been all the Shepherds for Tower Hill, and they're the only players to have a bucket in the field there for Tower Hill in that third quarter.
Well, they're 2 outstanding players, and they can score in a variety of ways. Caravel starts the fourth quarter out getting away from man, went to their matchup zone. Coleman drives down the lane, throws the floater up. He was fortunate that he didn't get a charge called. They did reward him with being a foul on the block. So Coleman gets to the free throw line quite a bit.
Yeah, he's going to be his 3rd or 4th trip here tonight. He's went 1 of 2 from the line each time in his first 2 trips. Knocks down the first here. He had the only other point in the third quarter for Tower Hill, that 1 free throw that he knocked down midway through the quarter.
And maybe this is the 3rd scorer that Coach Kaiser is looking for. Coleman has been very aggressive. He's not afraid of the moment. That's a good sign for a freshman.
And again, no scoring out of the senior Marty Coyne yet as well for Tower Hill. As Caravel again holding an 8-point lead after the free throw. Miles White hits the deck, looks at the officials, wanted a call, no call.
Well, I think the officials are trying to let them play. That was just a little incidental contact as Wyatt was kind of sliding through, and then White to the opposite side.
I think the officials have done a great job here in this one tonight.
Absolutely. This is a very good crew.
Absolutely right. And now 7:16 to go between these two top 5 teams here in Bear, Delaware. Up top to Clemens here, trying to get around Dean Shepard. Here comes the double team. It's going to leave Miles White open for 3, in and out, and then a whistle. And this time they're going to get Dylan Shepard on the loose ball foul on the rebound attempt. So what looked like a miss and a possession for Tower Hill will result in another possession for the Bucks.
And that'll be the 3rd foul on Dylan Shepard. Obviously, they can ill afford to lose either one of the Shepards.
Both Shepards battling with 3 fouls. They inbound to Clemens.
Another one of those out-of-bounds plays underneath. That was an elevator, reverse elevator out to the top of the key. They were trying to get Clemens a shot, and Shepard did a really nice job of defending it.
Clemens letting the game come to him tonight. Only 2 or 3 shots. He's got just 5 points. But Caravel still has an 8-point lead. That's how talented the Bucks are. And here is Clemens trying to get around Shepard. Turn around, fadeaway jumper is short, but rebound to Bone, and he's been fantastic here for Caravel. And then an extra step for him, though. Clemens, I believe, this time over in the corner.
Zane Bone, only a junior, has really done a nice job of helping his team in a lot of different ways. Offensive glass, defense, some defensive rebounding. I've been very impressed, and then a couple threes from the corner. So Clemens that time just walked very carelessly on the side.
There's Dominique Wyatt once again coming up with the steal, trying to turn it into offense for Caravel. But how about a smart play here of bringing it up top and just resetting the offense?
Burned some time, but how about Charles Hapgood getting back on defense to confront Wyatt as he drove.
And Wyatt had a few open opportunities like that in the first half. This one just lost his footing, was White. It's going to lead to an easy 2, the easiest of the night for Dean Shepard. And he's got his 5th bucket of the second half. Timeout on the floor. We'll stay right here, Coach. And just like that, it's a 45-39 ball game. As you look over at some of the stats here, Bone second in scoring for Caravel. He's got 10 points. He's into double digits. Wyatt has 18 to lead the way for Caravel. A big second half for Dean Shepard. He had 6 points in the first half. He's already got 10. That gives him 16 on the night. And Dylan Shepard also has 16 after knocking down those 4 threes in the first half. Has yet to hit a triple here in half number 2.
I think the big story is the defense by either one of the Shepards, and sometimes they switch off onto him, on Clemens. Clemens is averaging, I think, somewhere 18 to 19 points a game. He is a really good player in a lot of different ways. He can drive it, he can work the offensive glass, but they've really battled him hard. And I think it's got him a little frustrated, taking a couple questionable shots, had the turnover there on the sideline. The last play, just a player's going to slip. White slipped as he was dribbling across the key. But Caravel, Coach Tobin has tried to slow down the game a little bit, and I'm not sure they have reacted as well as he would have liked. I think they want to keep the pace up. They are really good in the open court. The more pressure they put on the defense, the better Caravel plays.
And how about that? Caravel a little late getting over to the inbound out of the timeout. The officials blow the whistle, put the ball on the ground, and just say, get over here and inbound. Wyatt does the good job of racing over there and able to pass it in. So under 6 minutes to go in a 6-point ball game. Wyatt tried to drive and dish it out, but got caught in the air. Tower Hill now the other way. Shepard in transition for 2 more. The Hillers have been out and running, and we've got a 4-point game.
Well, the Shepards will take advantage of those mistakes, and that was a time where Wyatt got caught up in the air, didn't have anywhere to go, just had to lose the ball. Almost better off traveling because that bad turnover led immediately to a basket. Tower Hill's getting back in the game with some careless play by Caravel and some excellent defense by Tower Hill.
You said it, a couple slips turning into points the other way for the Hillers, and now they're down just by 4. Still a lot of time left here at Caravel Academy. Bone quickly back into the game for Caravel.
And this pace of play, actually, even though they're behind, I think it favors Tower Hill. They're trying to run some clock. They've had turnovers because of Tower Hill's defense.
Wyatt going to drive too strong on the dribble drive as he got inside. And now once again, Tower Hill off to the races. In transition, Shepard double teamed in the corner. We'll get it back up to Dean. Open 3 for Dean Shepard off the back end of the rim. Looked good off his hands.
Well, it certainly did, and his brother gave up a shot on the far sideline to skip the ball to his brother, and he just missed that. If that young man has that shot more often than not, he's going to make it. A very good long-range shooter, has great release on his shot.
Still just a 2-possession game here. Miles White, shot blocked by the freshman Coleman, intercepted now by Shepard up ahead, Dillon to Dean for two, and Dean Shepard has just been out and running here the last few minutes, and he's got yet another basket and a timeout on the floor. We've got a 2-point ball game, 45-43.
The turnovers have hurt Caravel. The opportunistic defense of Tower Hill has enabled them to battle back in the game. Caravel has gotten into too much one-on-one, some very questionable shots, playing very fast, turning the ball over, and then not getting back on defense, and they have really been hurt by that. I admire Tower Hill. They've really hung in. They battled. They were down. Caravel had an 11-point lead in the ball and then found a way to allow Tower Hill to get back in this game. Of course, the Shepards are doing it, but they've got some really good defensive play from the other players, especially Charles Hopgood. I've been very impressed with him.
6 points in the first half for Dean Shepard, 14 in the second half. He now has a game-high 20 to lead the way for Tower Hill. Dillon, he's behind him with 16. Here's Bone over to Black. They'll trap him in the corner, and that was a good defensive play by Michelli to stick the foot out, preventing the baseline bounce pass.
I'm amazed at how many players get caught up in the air with nowhere to go, nothing to do. You're always better off staying on the ground, because when you get caught up in the air, usually not much good happens.
We've seen that a few times here with Caravel the last few possessions. Clemens, mid-range jumper, room to fire. That one rolls off. Michelli with a big rebound for Tower Hill, and now some pressure in the backcourt, but Tower Hill able to beat it. But they will try and reset it, it looks like. No, they won't. A drive and a finish. A little finger roll from Dillon. Another basket for Dillon Shepard. And we are all tied up here with 3.5 to go. What a ball game here at Caravel Academy.
Dillon Shepard just brought the ball down, and nobody confronted him. Nobody played him. What a big defensive mistake by Caravel.
It was 43-28 in favor of Caravel. What a run. Black wants to get back on the run. His corner three, no good. Rebound to Shepard. And now Tower Hill with a chance to take the lead. Dean to Dillon in the corner. The go-ahead three is right through.
Great teamwork there, sharing the ball. An excellent spot-up shooter are both the Shepards, and their teammates know when to look for them, and they certainly, coming from behind, have been the much more aggressive team here in this fourth quarter.
43-28. A 20-2 run in favor of the Hillers. And they have a 3-point lead. That was Dillon Shepard's first three of the second half after hitting 4 in the first. And what a big one it was to give the Hillers the lead here in the fourth.
Well, he's a great spot-up shooter, and he really knows his spots on the court. Loves both deep corners. He's obviously accurate from other areas as well. But he's always shot ready. His teammates know where to look for him. And there's no fear in that young man.
What a game here from Caravel. Number 5, the Bucks taking on the number 1 ranked defending state champion Hillers. And as you mentioned, Coach, a tough loss to Sanford. And what a way to rebound here. They played well, fought back here on the road. Still 3 minutes to go.
Well, what I know, no matter what, Nick, Coach Kaiser's got to be very proud of his team's comeback. On the road against a very good team who was playing well. I think they were able to slow the pace down. Caravel helped them by trying to hold the ball and run some clock. Kind of got away from their game, and now they're playing the game. It's probably going to be in the mid-50s, exactly where Tower Hill wants it.
Nice crossover from Dominique Wyatt, and that's going to be the 4th foul against Dillon Shepard, unless they call it against Kevin Coleman. We'll wait and see. So Wyatt will head to the free throw line. He's had 18, been stuck on 18 points for a while here. He's been, again, one of the better players for Caravel tonight. And that will go against Dillon. That's foul number 4 on Dillon Shepard.
Well, when you're having trouble shooting from the outside, one of the best things to do is try to drive and either score that way or get fouled and get to the free throw line. So even though Wyatt is throwing up a couple of questionable shots, he really did a good job there of drawing contact from Dillon Shepard and then getting to the free throw line.
Knocked down the first, second one on the way. That one wouldn't fall. So a 2-point game now after the free throw from Wyatt. And now some backcourt pressure here from Caravel. Hapgood trying to get rid of it, and we're going to have a reach in. This one going to go against Clemens, and that's going to be the 6th team foul on the Bucks.
It's a really nice job of officiating and a really nice job with his step through of Charles Habgood. He did not panic. He got double teamed. He was able to split the defense, and as he split through, the defender tried to create the foul, and I believe that was Clemens, and he fouled him, and the official was right there, and that's what you've got to do. You cannot let the hard play on defense affect the play, and I think that was perfectly called. It's what affected the play.
Dean Shepard tried to take that one himself. Got inside, just couldn't finish, so now still a 2-point game. Wyatt has it poked out from behind. Might have been Habgood. Now here comes Coleman the other way. And Tower Hill gonna reset, but you can't when you have Dominic Wyatt trailing behind you. Wyatt, defense to offense, couldn't finish. Loose ball up for grabs, Bone able to take it away, and now Caravel with a possession here down by 2. Clemens, baseline jumper is really short, able to get his own rebound, put back won't go either. Another second chance for Caravel. The black 3 won't go, and it's a battle here underneath. The Bone, baby, hook shot won't fall, and then finally the rebound tracked down by Michelli. What a series of events down right in front of us, Coach.
Almost too much to talk about, but the sheer fact that Zane Bond, the junior, did a magnificent job of hanging in there with a couple offensive rebounds, gets it out, finally tries the shot himself. I mean, there was quite a bit of activity underneath the glass. A little surprised there were no fouls called because there was a lot of action, a lot of jumping. But what's interesting is a young player, when the shot goes up the first time, you should always look to block out. But on the second one, there's something called a reblock. Nobody looks to block out again. Everybody's just following the ball. If you turn and find a body to put on, that's going to be rewarded. And that way, Caravel would not get so many multiple efforts at the offensive glass. Credit them, they just weren't able to finish.
Got a few threes off, a few shots inside on the block as well. Trailing by 2, just none of them would fall. Missing about 3 or 4 shots on that possession, and then finally taken away by Tower Hill, then a timeout on the floor. So it's a 2-point ball game. Tower Hill has stormed their way back. They lead by 2, 48-46 with 1:33 to play. They also have possession here as the officials are at the scores table. So we'll tell you who's on the floor. For Caravel, it's going to be Clemens, Bone, Wyatt, Black, and White as they're looking to get a stop here.
I was impressed with your ability to call that frenetic pace inside. There was a lot of action. Caravel trying to do everything they could to just find a way to either get fouled or put the ball in the basket. Again, not one fake in that whole sequence. Everybody catches it and just throws up. Slow down, get yourself under control, make a fake, and you might get rewarded.
It's the Shepherds, Coleman, Michelli, and Habgood for Tower Hill. They're up by 2 with possession. The Buccaneers looking for a stop. Here's Dylan Shepard. He'll drive. They kick it to the corner. And now they have a cutting Coleman. The freshman has his first field goal tonight.
Coleman has rewarded Coach Kaiser with some outstanding play. It certainly doesn't look like the moment's too big for him.
Miles White on the drive. The shot wouldn't go as the layup rolls off the rim. But a late foul call here under the basket is going to give some free throws to Miles White. We'll see who the foul was against. It will go against Kevin Coleman. So fortunate for the Hillers, it wasn't a Shepard foul. He'll be his second.
Coleman just caught him with the body as Miles White was going by him up to the basket. White's got a fantastic first step. He's very explosive, and he's a guy that can make a lot of really tough shots look easy.
Miles White's first point of the second half on that free throw. Second one is up and through, so 2 free throws good. Back to a 2-point game. Another timeout on the floor. We'll stay right here with 1:07 to play here at Caravel Academy. Tower Hill leading the Bucks 50-48 in a game that Caravel has led a majority through. Again, they had a 43-28 lead there late in the third quarter, and what a run. Again, a few sloppy turnovers from that Caravel offense leading to some easy buckets in transition for Dean Shepard and company. But Coach, now you're Tower Hill, you're up by 2. It's been a struggle offensively. You talked about Caravel in the second half, just not what we saw out of them in half number 1. Dominique Wyatt, again, has been their go-to guy here. He has 19 points. Now if you're Caravel, you got to get a stop here and then score. What do you got to do if you're the Bucks?
Well, they've got to play better defense than they've done. They've given up some driving lanes. They haven't gotten back on defense. Now they'll be stable here. And I think at some point, Tower Hill may want to try to hold the ball or at least get a driving lane, a layup only, or a free throw. On the next foul, Tower Hill will be in the bonus. And Tower Hill already has 8 fouls. So Caravel, conversely, they need to stay in front. They need to try to create a turnover, possibly on a dribble penetration. You might even see them trap. They have a tendency out of their matchup or even their man-to-man to randomly trap.
So here we go. Tower Hill to inbound up by 2 with a minute to go. They get it into Dean Shepard. Quickly lost the dribble, and now they'll work it around. Dylan has it. They'll get it past half court as they break the press. And he'll get it back. Floater for Dylan Shepard was too strong on the quick shot, and then a whistle and a foul.
I'm amazed, Nick, that so many players rely on this floater. It just, if you look at it statistically at every level, unless you're one of those rare players that practices it all the time, it's a very difficult shot, especially when you're really moving fast. You're better off going down, playing off 2 feet, and then going up. That floater has a different release point almost every time you shoot it.
So here's Dylan Shepard at the line, his first free throws of the night. And he's able to knock down a big one that time. Still a 1-possession game, but the lead now stretched to 3.
I think what happened on the floater, White came in instead of blocking him out, just turned in, and then what happened, Dylan Shepard's momentum carried him in, and he was rewarded with the foul, and he's an excellent free throw shooter. Both Shepards shoot it at about 80%, especially in the fourth quarter.
Now a 4-point game. Caravel down by 2 possessions with 50 seconds to go. Ball in the hands of Dominic Wyatt. Clemens going to come up, shoot the 3 ball, no good. Rebound up for grabs. And then a foul on White, who tried to tie up Shepard on the rebound, and now will walk the floor.
Well, I've been impressed with Tower Hill's defense in the clutch. Now, some of that was some careless play by Caravel. When they look at the film, they'll see some of these things where they want to slow down a little bit. But Tower Hill has been extremely opportunistic in this game. They know how to get their best players to the free throw line when it matters. And they really showed a lot of patience and poise when it looked like Caravel might be able to expand this game and play in the 60s.
Free throw, he rolls around and falls through for Dylan Shepard. So some big free throws for him here late in the fourth quarter. Lead now to 5. As the APO coaching staff in the house tonight, Coach Tom Purse and company, they're checking out some action. Another free throw, so 4 straight free throws made for Dylan Shepard, and we've got a 6-point lead. 2-possession game here at Caravel Academy. They'll work it around. No, Clemens will fire. Right wing 3, and he finally hits one. And now we're back to a 1-possession game. Quick timeout here with 33.5 to go. And John Clemens had 3 points in the first half. Now 5 here in the second gives him 8.
NBA plus range on that shot by Clemens, who came down. I think he just sensed, hey, not enough time. I need to take this shot. Obviously a big time make. Now down 3, Tower Hill will obviously free throws only or a wide open straight line drive. So look for Caravel to try to trap on the inbounds. If they don't get the steal immediately, I think they'll foul, and they're going to want to play a multiple possession game throughout this last 33.4.
And again, free throws been kind of a struggle for both teams, at least relatively speaking here tonight in this one. The Shepards, though, they've been good at the line. They'll try to, if you're Tower Hill, that's who you'd want to try to get to the free throw line. So I'm sure the ball will be in their hands anyway.
And they're difficult to defend because they move so well without the ball. Tower Hill does a nice job of screening for them. And they're just difficult to defend because they're very, very cagey.
So both teams out of the timeout. It's going to be Habgood, both Shepards, Coleman, and Michelli for Tower Hill. It's going to be Bone, Clemens, White, Black, and Wyatt for Caravel. Here we go, 1-possession game. Tower Hill up by 3, 33.5 to play.
Tower Hill goes 1-4. Tower Hill goes 1-4. Not a lot of screening on that. Both Shepards broke to the ball because they know they want to get it in the clutch.
Wyatt with the diving attempt at the steal. Does not get out of play. Now we're going to have a towel come and clean up some of the sweat on the floor here from where Wyatt hit the deck. So inbound round 2 here for Habgood and the Hillers. A 2.5 coming off the clock there.
Vince Shipman, the official, who had a son who was a terrific player at Middletown back in the early 2000s, did a really nice job of reminding Habgood that he could not move.
They're going to try to trap Shepard. He gets it over to his brother Dylan here. Now they'll have it in the backcourt and a whistle as Black got a piece of him.
And that's the problem. There's really not a good option there. You're going to foul Dylan or Dean, and they're going to just handle the ball back and forth and make it very difficult for you. What you probably want to try to do is put your best 2 defenders, face guard them, and make somebody else have to handle the ball and then foul them immediately. And hope that they don't make their free throws, because the Shepherds, as I mentioned, are really clutch. They played a lot of basketball, not only at the high school level, but at the AAU level, and they are pretty tough in the end game.
He's knocked down 5 straight free throws. Has Dylan Shepard. Some big ones here down the stretch, as you mentioned, Coach, and another one on the way. Leading by 4. This would make it a 5-point game. And he knocks it through. Some big free throws. Now Caravel down by 5, tips it away. Does the Hillers, and again, the Hillers showing why they're the top-ranked team in the state here tonight at Caravel. Backs against the wall. Of course, ranking's going to shift a little bit next week as Black going to fire a 3. This one's long, rebound to Dean Shepard, and then a foul in the backcourt, and now that might make it a little tough on the Buccaneers here with 16 seconds to go and some more free throws coming for this time, Dean Shepard.
Caravel went cold in the fourth quarter. They also did not take care of the ball, and some of those turnovers and questionable shots led to breakout runs. So Tower Hill got back in the game very quickly and almost very easily, not having to run a lot of offense, just taking advantage of the miscues by Caravel, and here in the end game converting their free throws. So this is a veteran team that knows how to play, and they're, shall I say, they're supportive players. Like a guy like Habgood knows exactly what he has to do. I thought they got great minutes out of the freshman Kevin Coleman.
Wyatt trying to add to his total, can't at the buzzer, and that looks like it's going to do it. A comeback win for the Hillers and defending state champ Tower Hill as they go on the road and redeem that loss over at Sanford, able to rebound nicely here with a 58-51 win over Caravel, a game which they trailed throughout, Coach, and then late in the third and then into the fourth quarter, they just really got into a rhythm and turned that defense into offense.
Nick, there was no panic on Tower Hill. They look like a veteran team that's now kind of found their way. They got some great play from their bench. I mentioned the young man Kevin Coleman, the freshman. I thought Charles Habgood came in and really did a great job defensively. He doesn't have to score a lot, but he's really a steadying influence for them. And then when you have the 2 Shepherds who scored 49 of their 58 points, that's pretty tough. And that's kind of that's the name of the game. That's why Tower Hill wants to play these games in the mid-50s. And if the 2 Shepherds get, what, 23 to 25, now the math is pretty good. You don't need a lot of scoring. But I thought the other players on Tower Hill really did a good job. Maselli is a real hustler. Coyne gives them great minutes. They've been around. They know how to play. But then when you can turn the ball over to the Shepherd twins, it's a pretty good proposition.
I mean, they were spectacular, especially in the second half. Just 3 players scored points in the second half for Tower Hill, and 2 of them were the Shepherds. You mentioned it. Dylan finishes with 27. He's the one that closed it out, and Dean's the one that brought him back. He finishes with 22, so 49 points out of the 58, as you mentioned, go to the Shepherds. A big field goal for Kevin Coleman there in the second half, and you mentioned Habgood. That's why he was on the floor throughout the stretch there to close the game. Defensively, he was great for them, and they got a victory. For Caravel, they were on fire in the first half. Wyatt had 10. Clemens was off to a slow start, but Miles White had 7. White only 2 in the second half. Clemens couldn't get rolling. Wyatt was the lone spark there in half number 2 alongside Zane Bone, but they just couldn't get, I guess you could say, the offense and defense both, but just how would you put it there in the second half of them as they just kind of started to unravel there late in the third?
Well, they got out of the flow of the game by trying to spread the court there in the middle of the third quarter. Slow it down, run some clock, extend Tower Hill, which I think strategically probably was right, but they did not execute it for Coach Tobin. And his team was in such a good flow. I think sometimes with a team like Caravel, maybe you let them play a little bit longer and then look to slow it down. But hey, Caravel's won a lot of games. They really know what they're doing. Some miscues by them, some tough shots that Tower Hill was able to rebound. And what Tower Hill was able to do in the late third and fourth quarter, take advantage of almost every mistake by Caravel and score at the other end. So I want to credit Tower Hill more than say that Caravel didn't play as well. Caravel has some excellent players. They play very hard. Wyatt is really tough to deal with because he's so quick and not only can score himself but can set up his teammates. I thought Zane Bond had a terrific game, the junior, for Caravel. He made some big shots. He was very active on the offensive glass. He's a fine player. They came up a little cold. This was a good effort by Tower Hill. I think Caravel will learn a lot from this game, and both teams are going to be around deep into the tournament because they're both very solid teams and very well coached.
I agree with you. In a matchup of top fives here, again, Dominic Wyatt leads the way. He had 19 for Caravel. They fall to 5-3 on the season. Tower Hill, they improved to 6-2. Of course, 27 for Dylan, 22 for Dean as we close out things here at Caravel Academy. For Nick Alessandrini, the coach Bill Harmon, and Mike Lang, a comeback win for Tower Hill on the road in a matchup of top 5 teams. Number 1 Hillers take down number 5 Caravel. We will see you Tuesday for some more basketball action, but Tower Hill, defending state champs, get the win here tonight.
Thank you so much. It was great to have you back. Yep, I'll let you know. I think Tuesday